Happy Mother's Day to all of our mums, nans, grannies, nanas, stepmums, and everything in between. We hope you have a wonderful day. Today, we are going to talk about your plans and how people might influence what you're going out to achieve. Welcome to our podcast, Fuck the Diet Cycle, with myself, Lauren Knight, and Abby Lodge. This is for you if you want to cut through the diet industry bullshit and finally end that cycle. Grab yourself a cuppa, get comfy, and let's dive straight in, shall we?
Yeah, so happy Mother's Day, everybody. I think it's really, really important when you're on a weight loss journey that, these days, they are going to happen. We've got Mother's Day, Easter, Father's Day, and with them will come social events. So it's really important to not shut yourself off, but also to have a plan in place and to not worry about kind of outside influences and things like that. Because I know when I was on my journey, going out for like my first meal out and deciding to choose something that wasn't what I would normally have, people were like, "Is that all you're having? Oh, why don't you have X, Y, and Z?" And actually having the balls to front it and say, "I'm choosing not to." Not I can't, because it's when you start saying I can't have this, or I'm on a diet, or I'm being good, or whatever, that people then will change the way they come back at you. But actually saying, I'm choosing not to because it doesn't fit in with my journey right now. So something that I've been doing with my clients, working up to this day, is going through menus and things like that, working out what they're doing, and actually getting them to ask themselves a question of, is there something on that menu that they know that they're really, really going to enjoy, they're really, really going to love? If there is, go and have it. Don't just not have it because you're on a weight loss journey and you think that it's going to ruin it. Because what will happen is, if you was to go and then just pick a measly salad and not enjoy it, you'll only get home and binge. So if there is something that you're going somewhere today and you're going for a roast dinner and you love that pub's roast beef and Yorkshire puddings, if it's going to be worth it, have it.
100%. And I had exactly the same conversation with one of my clients, actually. She pulled up the menu. She didn't realize that they were going out today, but she pulled up the menu midweek and she was like, what I really, really want is the lamb and the apple crumble. But what do you think I should have? Well, that's what I think you should have because that's what you want. If I tell you to choose anything else other than that, you're going to resent it. And then you're going to eat the other option. And then afterwards, you're going to lose control because you'll be like, but actually, that's not satisfied me and that's not what I wanted. What we will say is be aware of the portion size, because chances are you've been really working on your portion control and knowing that we don't have to go over a mountain of food. When you're going out to a restaurant, depending on where you're going, that size of food may be different. So listen to your brain to gut access, making sure that you are eating mindfully and slowly. And when you're satisfied, put a serviette over the top, push your plate away, because, when we're chit-chatting away, those extra spoons are going in, you're not even acknowledging it, nor wanting it. Afterwards, you feel uncomfortable and you kick yourself for it. That's not what we want. We want you to go away and go, that was bloody lovely and worth every single mouthful. Now, on the same breath, we'll roll back to my weight loss journey. It was Father's Day, not Mother's Day, but it's still something vivid in my mind, where we took my dad out to Miller and Carter. Miller and Carter is not something that is on my agenda. Like, I don't particularly like steak, much to an unpopular opinion, but I don't enjoy it. So for me, eating at that restaurant while still trying to lose weight was a bit of an inconvenience, but I knew that that's where my dad wanted. So I went along and I took a meal replacement. I took a lemon bar, and that's what I chose to do. Not because I couldn't have anything on the menu. I didn't want anything on the menu. And there is a big difference. I chose not to have that because I would have sat there going, I don't want this. I'm not enjoying this. This isn't something that aligns with me. Now, my dad could have had an opinion on that, my mum, my brother, whoever. But it was my choice. I wasn't asking their permission. And that's something to really be strong on. You're not asking for anybody's opinion around you on whether you should or should not be making the choices that fit for you. You're just doing what works for you, and that's okay. And it makes a lot of us feel like, oh my God, but I'm going to upset X, Y, Z. No, what's going to upset you is more important, because actually you're the one that's got to live that life. So I chose to have that lemon bar. I didn't ask my dad not to eat a steak.
No,
He
exactly.
continued to eat that food. And that's something that you need to think about today. If you're only eating because it fits in with other people's plans, how is that going to leave you feeling?
And also, a lot of people, we do like eat out of to not feel rude, you know, and things like that. And it's not rude to say, no, this doesn't fit with me and I don't want to do it, because yes, okay, those people, you know, want you to enjoy that food with them, but they're not going to be the ones that go back home with you that day or whatever and beat you up like the way that you are going to beat yourself up for how you have just eaten something. Like if you'd have eaten that steak or whatever, you'd have beaten yourself up because you don't really like steak. So actually just fronting it, and it's not rude, but the way that you use your language towards people really helps on their perception of things. And what you also have to remember is people that, you know, that whole, if you get a dessert, I'll get a dessert, that kind of, you know, are you
Yeah.
getting it? That's just they're just reflecting onto you what they want. They're not taking into consideration any of your choices. But the thing that really, really gets me, and in things like this, is not just family but friends as well. You can go to these places, and if you say no, whereas if they're used to you saying yes, they'll have an opinion on that, but they won't have an opinion when you were shoveling God knows what in your mouth, putting on weight, and, you know, potentially killing yourself because that suited them. We need to kind of, it's not selfish to take back that control and actually say, no, it doesn't fit with me. Thanks, but no thanks. Or, you know, I'm choosing to have whatever it is because that's what I want.
Yeah. And you get the opposite of that as well, don't you? You also then, it's like you can't win.
Yeah, you
because
can't
I've
win.
also been in situations where I'm eating something that other people deem that I shouldn't be eating, and they go, "Are you allowed to be eating that?"
Yeah.
I'm like, "Yes, the fuck I am."
No,
Like, who are
it does.
you? Like, who are you to tell me whether I should or shouldn't be eating it? It's an opinion that I don't want to hear. I'm not asking for you to give me a running commentary about what I'm putting into my body. And it works both ways. So being confident and being aligned with what you want to achieve. So today, right now, once you've listened to this podcast, we want you to sit down and ask yourself, are you going for damage limitation and maintenance? Or are you still wanting to have that loss? Because that makes a difference on your choices.
Mm-hmm.
Now, having that loss doesn't mean that you can't eat. It doesn't mean that. It just means that you need to be a bit more mindful and maybe have just one course rather than two. It might be that you need to look for more of a high protein option rather than a heavy carby creamy pasta. But if you're just going down the maintenance and damage limitation route, you can still choose the things that you're going to enjoy and be mindful of that. That doesn't mean that you still need to eat 3 courses or finish the plate just because it's in front of you. It just means that if the calories are over your allowance, that's okay, because you're going for maintenance anyway. So make sure you're aligning with what you actually want to achieve this week on your journey. If you need help reaching out, asking us to help you with your menu searching, or it might just be that little tweaks can be had to make it fit in. So for example, if you're having a dish and it comes with garlic bread, do you really need that garlic bread? Do you really want it? Or is it that you normally consume it just because it's there? So it's having those little thought processes before you just go and consume it. If you're going to somebody's house and they're offering you a slice of cake, is it a cake that you're really going to enjoy? Or is it something that you're having just because it's been offered to you? Having that thought process and going, yes, it aligns with me. Yes, I really want it. Or no, actually, do you know what? I don't. So I'm going to say no.
Yeah, absolutely. And also thinking about the next day. So thinking about tomorrow, if you have had something like that cake that great aunt Nora's cake baked you or whatever, and you've enjoyed it, you then don't restrict tomorrow. You don't wake up and say, oh, I still want that loss really, really bad. I'm going to restrict, because that's just keeping you in the cycle. You wake up, fresh day, you carry on exactly as you was pre this meal or whatever you were doing, to then carry on, because that's where you will get your results. And also, if you are drinking alcohol today or anything, remember your water. Must keep hydrated.
Yeah, the water police is in the building.
I am.
But you're so right. And also, if you're going out for a meal, having that glass of water before your meal comes out so that you can ensure that you're really engaging with the fact that you don't want to be over full and uncomfortable afterwards, because again, you're going to go to kicking yourself and going, why did I do that? When really what you want to do is be constantly telling yourself, this is bloody delicious.
Yeah.
This is amazing. This is what it looks like to live in the real world and not be controlled around food. And if we do get the naysayers or the you should be doing this or you shouldn't be doing that, be strong. You're not on a diet. This is a lifestyle change. This is my choice. Thank you for your opinion, but I'm going to do what I want to do anyway.
And you stick to what you want to do. If you want to eat X, Y, and Z, keep your bloody opinions to yourself.
Thank you for listening. If you loved it, don't forget to press that subscribe button and the little bell so that you never miss a future episode. We will be back here with a new one on Sunday at 7 a.m. We'll see you there.